This is African Women on the Move, and this is part 2 of my interview with Lexy Owusu-Boahene, the owner of Cafe Accra, as we chat about her new restaurant venture. We're sitting here at Cafe Accra, brand new restaurant here in East Legon on the Boundary Road. This is a nice, quaint little location, and it's like a perfect Sunday brunch cafe spot. What made you decide to open up a restaurant?
Again, for selfish reasons. So, I mean, for those that know Accra well, if you live in East Legon, getting out of East Legon can be a challenge. Coming into East Legon can be a challenge, depending on what time. So I used to work at One Airport Square. My office was there for like 3 years, and I would always have to drive in. But some days I would just want somewhere to sit and work and not have to drive to and from, and have good, affordable, yummy, homemade food as well. So I literally just thought, why not? And you know, really passionate about foods. For those that know me know that I've been to every single restaurant in Accra. I literally am the directorate. So if anyone is looking for places to eat, to drink, to socialize, to visit, let me know. I'll give you tips.
I love food too.
Right? And then also another thing was, you know, whilst I've opened this, why don't I connect to local producers that produce like sausages and produce like the sugarcane, lime and ginger that you see in front of you, and why just not work with them so they supply us with some of these amazing things that they have. So we have everything from like sobolo that we get locally, to our eggs that we get from the local, you know, the local markets, and interacting with all these women that are doing phenomenal things, and it's been fun.
That's good.
It's been fun.
That's good. I was here when you did. It was like within your first few days of opening.
Right.
Just before the
COVID.
lockdown and COVID and everything. How did you respond? Because I know that was, I mean, it seemed like the perfect time to launch a restaurant until the pandemic came, and then it was like lockdown, restaurants closed, like everything was closed. Was there anything you had to do to stay afloat? Because you didn't really even get a chance to start making profit.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, one of the key things that I was petrified of was I don't want any of my staff to get it. And I don't want someone to come here and say that they've caught corona. So we started, you know, implementing strategies straight away. So you have to come in with a mask, we have to use our hand sanitizer, we get your temperature checked, and these were like key things for us. And unfortunately the lockdown came, so we had to close. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, like my staff will have to go home and be at home. They're not gonna have anything to do. Like, you know, they rely so heavily on their salary, and, you know, like even when a customer comes and like they're not up to scratch for some reason, and I get onto them, I'm like, you know, I'm reminding you that they pay your salary. So like to have to shut down an operation and not be able to buy the local eggs, and not to be able to buy the local sausages, or you know, our sugarcane, lime and ginger, and so on and so forth. It was really, really heartbreaking. And then when we closed and we were allowed to open, I actually kept it closed for another week just to be sure that we were safe to come out again. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, no one's ever gonna come back. Because everyone's scared. Everyone's scared. But God being so good, as soon as we opened, I think everyone was just fed up. So we just had people coming in. I mean, we took out a few chairs to practice social distancing, and a couple of tables. But, and then, you know, it's been peaks and troughs.
I want to shift now, because you talked about food, about, you know, going to all these restaurants in Accra. What were the things that you did to decide on what your menu was going to be? Like, how did you, you know, come up with all of the items?
So, I mean, I sat with a chef from South Africa who's phenomenal, Chef Carl, and we kind of spoke about a different thing. Like, I wanted, just as you do when you're really passionate about everything, you want everything on the menu. But I think it was important. So this is our second menu, but it was important that we start slowly and kind of build on that. So obviously I'm from the UK, so English breakfast had to be on there, which we call Je suis Accra, just to give it a bit more, or differentiation.
That's interesting. You call it a Je suis Accra because it's like French,
right? But then also like a lot of Ghanaians speak French.
Yes, that's true.
And I am Accra, like I am Ghana, I am Africa. This is me. And plus, but it's an English breakfast. And then of course, we have a whole bunch of Americans, diasporas who come and eat, who love their pancakes, and then we love our crepes and our waffles. So it was just a mixture of, original, authentic foods from different places around the world. And now we've worked on our second menu, and we've got a vegan section where we just serve, a few vegan dishes, just to cater for that market, because we did have people coming in that were looking for, vegan options. So.
That market is growing.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, everywhere. Ghana used to be a place that you couldn't find any vegan, but now most restaurants have at least one or two options to choose from. So,
exactly.
Well, I think you're doing great here.
Oh, thank you so much, Irene.
I don't live close by, but when I can, I do stop by.
Appreciate it.
If I still lived in East Legon,
I know, right? Yeah.
I used to actually be just
on this road. Okay.
Just off Boundary Road, going towards Sunflower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't far from here.
That's all.
But yeah, when I can, I come. I'm here today, so I'm going to have some pancakes.
Right, of course.
I can't be here and not eat something. That would just be like a travesty to come and go without anything.
Precisely.
So anybody, if you want to come to Cafe Accra, you should come here and check it out. It's a great place for breakfast, lunch. You can have your vegan options.
Right.
And maybe when you come, she'll be here and she can chat with you. Although she's a busy woman, because when you're here with her, she's up and down, getting called by her staff and everything. So, which is a good sign.
Right.
It means things are going well.
I guess so.
What advice do you have for somebody who wants to come and start a business in Ghana? Because I know that a lot of people who are coming from abroad, you're used to a certain system.
Yeah.
And so when you come here, you might be thrown into shock.
Right.
So what advice would you give?
One of the key things is you need to understand that you have come into another type of system. So although, you may seem like we don't have a system, we have a system that works. It's just a different type of system. And you now need to acclimatize to some of the things. I mean, there's things I learned in my first year that I'm still practicing now. There's still things that I learned up until today. Patience is one of the key things. Otherwise, your high blood pressure will just be out of this world.
Yeah.
So you have to, patience and your expectations and manage your expectations. And really get to know people, understand your local people, understand the people that you work with, understand the people that, your neighbors, the people that you come across on a day-to-day basis. Like when you're sat in an Uber, have a chat with the driver, what are his thoughts? Because you learn so much from these people and you won't even realize it.
Yeah.
And then one of the key things is you're going to have challenges in terms of business, right? So from registration processes to fees you have to pay, you're going to be like, what is this? But it's all part of the process and it's all part of the story, and everything you go through is unique to you. So just utilize that as a way of growth and as a way of change, really. So that would be my advice.
You mentioned managing expectations. Some people might not know what you mean by that.
So I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but you will experience things like light off, water issues. And I guess, some people will come and will even be living in the plushes of areas, and they will still face some of the challenges. You will have to reach out to your local plumbers, your local carpenters, expect that they'll be late, expect that they'll try and rip you off, expect all these things, and just manage your, expectations as much as you can, and negotiate everything. Negotiation is a skill and is key. My daughter taught me and she's extremely good at it. But negotiation is key. So yeah, definitely.
That's good. So what's the number one thing that you've learned that you think has made you a better business person here in Ghana? One or two things?
I would say definitely the patience thing. I've learned so much and I've taken on so much in terms of being patient and just trying to understand different perspectives and why they do what they do. Because in your head, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
But in their head, it makes sense to them.
Yeah.
So that's why they do what they do. And then another thing is, I would say, is just being able to take a risk, you know, because, I mean, when you're sheltered in the UK and in America, like, things work, right? So you don't really think outside the box. You don't really think about, oh, what if I did this or what if I did that? But being here, I mean, even opening a cafe, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, what's your 5-year plan? It wouldn't have been in it. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But I've been able to take that risk and do something outside of my comfort zone. So yeah, I'll definitely say those two things.
Definitely, I agree with that, with taking risks. I think that when you're living in places outside of Africa where you have places that are already fully developed, you have companies that have been around for hundreds of years that have established themselves.
Exactly.
People don't think about the beginning stages. So that company you may be patronizing that may be in the US or the UK, Canada, may have been there for 70, 80 years.
Yeah.
And they had that growth period where they struggled to get to where they are now.
Yeah.
And so if you're taking a risk here, you have to know that you're going to go through those bumps and those trials, and that you are potentially building a legacy.
Precisely.
Building something that, once you're gone, someone else can take over and continue it on. So yeah, I like that you said that.
Good.
I like that you said that. Because that's what we're doing. We're building legacies.
Yeah.
I think that that's one of the things that everybody has to think about when they come here and they're starting a business from the diaspora, or even if you're Ghanaian, born and raised, homegrown, that you are building a legacy for this country, for the continent of Africa, for our people. And everything is one day at a time, one step at a time.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And I think, just to add, I think one of the key things for me, and maybe it's public or maybe it's not, is the fact that I literally directly influence people's lives because I give them jobs. So they go from not having any money for transportation sometimes to being in a position where they have some sustainability. And not even just my staff, but also just people that I recruit for other companies. And that alone makes me sleep better at night. So yeah.
Awesome. So come to Cafe Accra.
Please do come
and enjoy the food. I am about to order some pancakes. I know it's afternoon, but I love to have breakfast for lunch, sometimes breakfast for dinner. So I'll be having pancakes, the fruit pancakes, and maybe I'll grab a coffee because I need some energy for the rest of the day. Woohoo! Pancakes with fruit. Look how fresh this fruit is. I'm so excited about this. My pancakes, my coffee, and the coffee being served here is coffee made in Ghana. So it's a locally grown coffee that's being served here. So it's great. As she was saying, she is sourcing from local business owners. So I'm gonna enjoy some pancakes. I love food. Food is life. Food is life. So dig in. It's the perfect thing to hit the spot in the middle of the day. Perfect. So there's so many things on the menu here at Cafe Accra. You can check them out. Follow them on Instagram to see all of the different foods on the menu. Send a message, find out when there's specials going on, brunch, all that kind of stuff. So, great new restaurant in East Legon. Check it out. Let me continue enjoying my pancakes. So,
perfect.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
I'll see you again next time. This is African Women on the Move, featuring stories of dynamic African women from the continent and beyond. Stay tuned for future episodes.